Welcome to Varsity Girls Basketball Edition. I'm Ryan Aber, joined by Jason Kersey. Jason, a lot of interesting things going on in girls basketball with playoffs 2, 3, and 4 starting this week. 5A and 6A brackets coming out last week. You wrote about Blanchard girls on Sunday, or in Monday's paper, a long winning streak for them. What is it that's made them so effective recently?
Well, they started off at the beginning of the year 5-0, I believe. They lost a couple of games in the tournament down in 880 Central to ranked teams, but then they beat Class A number 2 New Lima. And that was a huge moment for them because in the 4 years that Kevin Kelly had been coach, they had never beaten a top 10 team of any class. And so after that, I think the winning streak now is up to 16. They look like a formidable team in Class 4A. Obviously Fort Gibson remains the favorite, but they look like a team that can make a run.
So you think this is a team that can make a run to state, and then obviously once they get there, win a couple games?
I think that they could. They've got a strong senior class that's played together for years. As 7th graders, they were all together, and Kevin Kelly was the junior high coach then, and he talked about how they talked then about when you guys are in high school, look towards getting to state, and now they've reached that point where they could. So.
And then you look in 5A, Shawnee is a team that lost Caitlin Ramirez before the season. We thought that'd be a devastating blow for their hopes. They haven't seemed to have missed a beat, though. Obviously, they miss her, but Taylor Cooper has stepped up, taken up some of that scoring. Mm-hmm. They've had some other girls that have stepped up and played really well. How good is Shawnee right now?
Well, they're one of the best teams in the state, I think, regardless of class. I think they could really hang with a lot of really good 6A teams. You're right, they lose Caitlin Ramirez. You don't know how that's going to affect them, but they obviously had Taylor and Mackenzie Cooper, the sisters, who were on Bethel's state title team last year. They move into Shawnee, and they've both been really successful. So good that Mackenzie isn't starting. She's a really good player off the bench for them. And then Kelsey Grovey at guard, she's signed with Tulsa. And, last week they played a top 5 game at Carl Albert, and Kelsey Grovey really played very well on defense against Joya Carter of Carl Albert, who's going to OU. They're just really, really good.
And you talk about really, really good going to 6A. Edmond Santa Fe, obviously Courtney Walker has produced all year, but this Wolves team is a lot more than just Courtney Walker.
Oh yeah, they're up and down, they're deep, they're athletic. They've got a great team. Midwest City is obviously who you look at as probably the main alternative to them. They're also undefeated and they're really good as well. But Edmond Santa Fe seems to be on a whole nother level from anyone else. Although I was talking about this earlier, it kind of reminds me of Heritage Hall in football. We all thought that they were undefeated, that they're so great, that they're the defending champs and they're unbeatable, and then they got beat. So I think anything can happen, but Edmond Santa Fe looks awfully good right now.
And of course, that's a spot that Midwest City's girls have been in the past couple of years, and they've gotten beat in the state tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Jason. Well, thanks for joining us, and thank you. Check us out every day at newsok.com/varsity for the best high school coverage anywhere.